Arguments for the existence of God. We all as humans at times experience a sense of detachment from people, detachment from matters important to us, and sometimes even this detachment from life itself, if not from ourselves, as if we are not really in control. We all experience shame and guilt as a reality of life, and deep inside we hunger for meaning in life and sometimes even wonder about the possibility of life after death. Welcome to my YouTube channel Talk and the series A Time to Think. I'm Tertius, a reconstructive plastic surgeon with a zeal for God and a zeal for truth, and why it is rational to believe in God. What are the arguments, or at least some of the arguments, for the existence of God? And we will look at some of them. Why do we sometimes have a sense of alienation from a God that we might not even believe exists? But guilt feelings are real. We often feel we are not in the best place we could hope to be, and have a constant yearning deep in our hearts for something better somewhere out there. Why would this discontent be? Why these feelings of alienation that dwell in the human heart, if only consist of matter? So if we as humans only consist of matter and are nothing but a product of blind evolutionary processes, why can't we just live and enjoy what is at hand and find happiness in this life, find true content? Could it be perhaps that a developmental process was at play, at least a possibility, a mind behind it all, a process that guided the human development for a higher purpose? That the human heart was created for meaning and purpose rather than for just mere happiness. We find ourselves in a natural world that communicates to us and is filled with just splendor of great beauty, of astounding order in nature, of perfect scientific laws, a cosmos filled with mathematical rationality. All these epitomize our universe. One can ask the question, why is there not just simply chaos around us, if the only reality that exists is that of no purpose, no plan, no design, no mind behind all of this? If it's only a case of matter, energy, and pure chance, and that the universe is but a mere product of blind, unguided processes. Then we can think about the existence of objective moral values, the sense of right and wrong that is in each one of us. It is impossible to explain this lest there is a perfect standard outside of us to compare it to. C.S. Lewis, an atheist turned Christian, he said, and I quote his words, "A man does not call a line crooked unless he has some idea of a straight line." So relativism, in other words, subjective moral values, that is, what is true for me is not necessarily true for you, is the logical and necessary consequence of a materialistic worldview, a view that nothing but matter exists, a view that implicates that there is no standard outside of us. But this is not tenable. Think about Hitler. Hitler thought his actions with the Holocaust were perfectly justified. What would have made his thoughts and actions crooked if there was no objective straight line outside of us to measure it to? Materialism fails to explain the deep sense of universal objective right and wrong. Even if you might argue that a culture or society determines their own moral values. If a religious movement believes and accepts that female circumcision is justifiable and the proper thing to do in their society, does that make it right? Why does the universe exist at all? Why is there something rather than nothing? Where did it all come from? And why are we here? Why am I as a person here on this earth? These are life's deepest questions. If the universe had no beginning, in other words, always existed, coming to the present moment would require crossing an infinite number of actual earlier moments, and it would be impossible to reach the present moment. But the present moment is here, therefore the universe had a beginning. This is the philosophical argument for the beginning of the universe. Now, observation of our universe teaches us, firstly, that whatever begins to exist has a cause. There's no exceptions to this. And we argued, secondly, that the universe began to exist, had a beginning. This is not only through the philosophical argument, but confirmed by science. The beginning of the universe 13.7 billion years ago, the so-called universe singularity or Big Bang. The necessary conclusion from these two premises is that 1. Whatever begins to exist has a cause. 2. The universe began to exist. 3. The conclusion, the universe had a cause. This is the Kalam cosmological argument. Now, if the universe had a cause, what could the most plausible cause be for the existence of the universe? A universe with its astonishing beauty, inbuilt order, elegant scientific laws, exquisite and exact fine-tuning that makes life possible, the existence of mathematical as well as human rationality, of objective morality. Could this cause be a senseless reality caused by random chance and no purpose, just a brute fact? Can this ever be a reasonable and a satisfactory conclusion? Even if a multiverse is postulated, for which, by the way, there's no scientific grounds for this as an argument, but a mere attempt to escape the reality of God. But say it is proved at some point, it doesn't solve the problem, because where did that start and how did all that came into being? So logically, a much more plausible cause for the existence of the universe would be an uncaused cause. In other words, an uncaused cause outside of the universe, a universe with its matter and time-space dimensions. So an uncaused cause that existed before and outside of the existence of time, matter, and space. So this cause has to be immaterial, timeless, spaceless, enormously powerful, with an intelligence beyond comprehension, and with a personal will that by volition would use the power of his will to bring a universe into existence. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Genesis 1:1. As scientific evidence became stronger and stronger over the last 100 years, it was realized and accepted as fact that the universe indeed had a beginning, and proved the first text, the first verse of the Bible correct. And the universe did not exist from eternal past, as has been postulated by science over the millennia. Now, the Judeo-Christian concept of God has always been that he is an everlasting God. In other words, he is timeless and omnipresent. That is all-powerful, in other words, omnipotent, all-knowing, omniscient, an unseen spirit, in other words, is immaterial and spaceless, and a personal God with a free will. A God that would create the universe with so much beauty for his own pleasure, and a desire to share this pleasure with his created beings, with human beings that he created in his image. Genesis 1:26. Beauty is a mental awareness and can only exist if a conscious mind exists that can perceive it. A mind, in other words, God that created beauty for his created beings, for human minds. God is the most plausible cause for the existence of the universe, for our very own existence. And I close with a quote again from C.S. Lewis. If we find ourselves with a desire that nothing in this world can satisfy, the most probable explanation is that we are made for for another world. The text of this video is on my blog, and the link to my blog is in the description below this video. If you found what was argued useful, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. This will be a huge help to spread the message and why it's rational to believe in God.